Hi, everyone. Welcome into Siren Records Monterey. This is, if you're new here, this is a channel where we talk about some of the new releases, reissues, and represses that just came out on vinyl either today, Friday, or recently. Sometimes they take a little bit of time to trickle in. Anyway, I try to give you the most information as I can, as fast as I can. There's a list posted down below that is kind of as we go alphabetically and with prices. Now today, I have to tell you, there's so much stuff that I had to omit. I have a whole pile of vinyl in this other box over here that it's just, I would be sitting here talking to you for way too long, and we're trying to move it along. So you can just refer to that and you can kind of get an idea of some more of the things that came in, but here's what we have, okay? Let's get started. I always start with picks of the week, as you know. But you know what? Well, we'll go ahead with that. My first pick for you is Bjork Fasora, and this is through One Little Independent Records, and it looks like a little shard of plastic is torn there. Anyway, Bjork's production and arrangements on Fasora, they present her at her most unapologetically obscure, closer to contemporary chamber music than to pop, rock, or dance music. Now, her melodies, as always, are very bold and delivered with passion and suspense, but here on Fasora, Bjork doesn't necessarily center those melodies as the hooks that they could be. And while she collaborates on some tracks with the Indonesian electronic producers Gabber Modus Operandi, she's not aiming for any dance floor beats on this one. It doesn't aim to be a crowd pleaser. It's hard to imagine these pieces actually on stage, though Bjork, if anybody could find a way, she would. So, maybe it'll happen. Her interior worlds are very vast, as you know. Now, the way she says it is every album starts with feeling that she tries to shape into sound. And this time around, the feeling was landing on earth and digging my feet into the ground. And it was also woven into how I experienced the now. Now, if you remember, her last album, Utopia, was more about an island in the clouds and the element of air, and they're very, no bass. This one, it's all about that, being shooting down roots. And it's Fasora is a word that she made up. It is like a feminine version of fasore, which means digger, delver, ditcher. So in short, this means she who digs into the ground. So sonically, it's all about the bass and the bottom end. Beautiful record. Give it a whirl. This sticker is letting us know that it's on the evergreen vinyl. The black vinyl just has the silvery kind of sticker. And you can also get this on CD. Okay? So that's my first pick. And I have a real interesting second pick for you, too. And that is the great House of Love, State of Grace. This is through Cherry Red. Now, it's a long-awaited new album from the House of Love. It's the sequel to 2013's She Paints Words in Red. And A State of Grace was written and recorded by the band's linchpin, Guy Chadwick. There's Guy. Between COVID lockdowns, okay? So following hot on the heels of the 8 CD box set of the House of Love's Fontana recordings from the early 90s, actually that was like their most amazing output, was when they were on Fontana for about 3 years or so in the early 90s. Brilliant stuff, so good. And anyway, this came just on the heels of that. It's almost like it came out of the blue. I didn't really know that there was a band reformed and that they were doing anything. Now, House of Love, after, those early years, they sort of broke up for a while. And then they kind of all got back together, I think, for 2005 was the one when they came back. And they had their lead guitarist, Terry Bickers, came back for that one. Now, there was a lot of bickering in this band, bickers, bickers, but they had a lot of internal turmoil in this band. They had band members quit in the middle of a tour. They had all these, things that happened, and it was heavy stuff. But anyway, this one, it's a collection, a very eclectic collection of tracks from driving grungy to eerie, atmospheric, riffy power ballad kind of. This is the first time the band's recordings have featured instruments like harp, pedal and lap steel guitar, banjo, and violin. So they're really trying a lot of new stuff. It's a very unique guitar sounds that they've come to know and love from the House of Love. But Terry Bickers is not back with them for this. Guy says that he and Terry Bickers parted ways about 3 years ago. And this is the former, and he's gone on to be, he was the former frontman and guitarist for not only the House of Love, but for Levitation and Cradle Double. If you remember who Terry Bickers was, he was important to the integrally important to the sound of House of Love. But actually, this is a guy has like recreated the whole band all over again with these kind of younger guys, and it's a fresh new sound. And you'll hear things in here that are like a little bit Stone Roses, a little bit spiritualized, but again with all these new instruments that they've never used on their records before. The format here is a double 10-inch. It's a full LP, double 10-inch, and is this, yeah, okay. Yeah, and anyway, so give them a try if you don't know them. Great stuff. I'm real happy to see them back and doing something again. Okay, so now before we get started, let me just say these are not technically new releases, but we did the vinyl last week. Remember the new Clutch? That's on cassette now, the Sunrise on the Slaughter Beach, and Centigold. This one is what, Universal? Is that what's that one called? No, sorry, Spirituals. This one, so new Centigold on CD this week and Clutch on cassette, okay? So now let's get to the meat of the order. And as I said, guys, I'm going to go as fast as I can for you because I know we all are wanting to get into our weekend here. Okay, first up is Afroman Crazy Rap. This is through X-Ray Cleopatra. Hip-hop and artist extraordinaire here, Afroman, known for his breakout single 2000's Because I Got High, returns with a brand new full-length album, his first since 2009. All musical celebrations of Afroman's favorite green herb, as well as newly recorded versions of his classic tracks. Let's see, Because I Got High, Palm Dale, Crazy Rap. This is on limited edition green and black splatter vinyl. Kind of is going to look like this. And yeah, available now. Okay, next up, this is an oddity, but it's Jeff Beck and Johnny Depp. It's called 18. It's on Rhino Records. So Jeff Beck pretty much found a real kindred spirit in Johnny Depp when the two of them met in 2016. And so they kind of were, just playing together in a casual sort of way, but, they just kind of clicked. And they bonded over their love for Motown, Beach Boys, Killing Joke, anyway, that kind of stuff. So during the pandemic, they kind of previewed their collaboration with a well-timed cover of John Lennon's Isolation. And anyway, this led to them playing together, and the thing that they always said was, oh my gosh, they feel like they're 18 years old again. That was so much, Johnny Depp had been playing with the Vampires of Hollywood, and Jeff Beck, he's got a lot of miles under his belt, but it just made them really feel infused and young again. So they had let me see, they had I'm looking at Hollywood vampire stuff, and that's not particularly relevant here. But anyway, Jeff Beck's wife did this cover drawing for them. So, it's got a lot of different musical influences in it, and, something different. See what you think of that. Okay, this is another 10-inch. This is the Brian Jonestown Massacre. This is called Fudge, and this is on A Records. This is a purple vinyl 10-inch to coincide with the Brian Jones Massacre's start of their 2022 European tour. This release of 2 new tracks by the band. It was recorded in Berlin and remotely between 2020 and 2021. So the opening track, Fudge, is from the forthcoming album that's going to be called The Future Is Your Past. And the second track on this is actually called The Future Is Your Past, but it is exclusive to this release. It's not going to be on the album. Okay, so if you're looking for that, anyway, you can kind of see that sort of a burgundy-ish purple there. Okay, next up is Tyler Childers, and people seem to be real interested in this. This is a triple LP. This is called Can I Take My Hounds to Heaven? This is on RCA Records, the highly anticipated new album from Tyler Childers and his longtime band, The Food Stamps. This unique collection is separated into 3 parts, like each record is a different part, with different sonic perspective, but all part of the same album vision. So Hallelujah is pared back version of the music featuring Tyler and his band only. Jubilee is full band, including strings, horns, and a touch of sitar, and an exciting new sound in the third piece, Joyful Noise. So from Tyler Childers' vision, it's a concept album, genuinely a concept album, meant to showcase the incredible musicianship of the Food Stamps on 3 LPs or CD. Okay? Next up, City of Caterpillar. This is called Mystic Sisters, and this is on Relapse. And yeah, well, not too exciting. I think that they always put the album, that's kind of what the album cover looks like. Okay, they always put it this way when you get stuff from Relapse. But The Return, with their first album in 20 years, believe it or not, when the guitarist, vocalist, and you know, the drummer, everybody, they unveiled their self-titled debut in 2002. Very emotional, frenzied, often cinematic music was kind of a vanguard for this burgeoning, what they call the Screamo movement, along with bands like Page 99, who they shared members with that band, and Majority Rule, Planes Mistaken for Stars, and others. They helped develop a style of music that really took hardcore to a convulsive new territory. And after years spent living in other parts of the country and playing in other bands, long-awaited City of Caterpillar reunion shows snowballed into writing sessions. The result was Mystic Sisters here, and the album that recaptures the magic of old while taking the band's music into very extraordinary new territory. So it really showcases the band's roots with a flurry of visceral, noisy, hardcore swagger. All right, they're more concerned with creating a mood and telling a story, and not so much with lyrics and things like that. They've always been focused on mood. So what they cared about 20 years ago was innocent, raw emotion, and that's what they still care about now. You can get this on pink or white. Each is limited edition of 500 copies, and let me see here. I believe that, do they tell us? Yes, here. It says pink edition, and this one doesn't say anything. It's just, or wait, no, this one is white. Is it white? Sorry. I'm just trying to see where it tells us that. Okay, this one, same place, white edition. So that's good. They're giving us a clue. Okay, then we have new Denzel Curry. Melt My Eyes, See Your Future. This is on Loma Vista. It arrives as Denzel Curry's most mature and ambitious album to date, recorded over the course of the pandemic. Denzel shows his growth as both an artist and a person. Born from a wealth of influences, the tracks highlight his versatility and broad taste in everything from drum and bass to trap. To support this vision, he enlisted a wide range of collaborators and established himself as one of the most groundbreaking rappers in the game. This is the indie exclusive edition. It's on Blue Smoke vinyl, and it tells you that right up here. Okay. Now, this is a couple of reissues from Dayseeker. This is Origin, and it's on In Vogue Records. Origin is the second full-length album by this American post-hardcore band, Seeker. Sorry. Okay, it was originally released in 2015. This is not a happy album. It's not angry music either, but the album has passion, it has distress, it has pain, and yes, it has anger, but it is not an angry album. It's deep, intricate expression of deep, intricate emotions. So it's set to this perfect post-hardcore soundtrack. It has all the details of the classics that made the genre so spectacular to begin with. It's on limited edition Moonlight variant, only 300 made, and that tells you here that it's on the Moonlight variant. Not sure what that would look like, but I'm just glad they're giving us a sticker that tells us. Also from Dayseeker, What It Means to Be Defeated. And this is the debut album, which was originally released in 2013. And as a whole, it's a great record. It's considering that it's their debut, it's surprising how mature and confident this band is with their sound and their performances. This release may seem to be average post-hardcore, but it's much more than that. And it's an emotively driven powerhouse of a record, one which has something for every fan of the genre. It's on limited edition Tiger's Eye or Forest Green. And again, they look very similar, but the information is on the sticker, whether it's the Tiger's Eye vinyl or the Forest Green, okay? And I'm okay with that. I just don't like when there's nothing. Okay, here we go. This is Diamond Head, Lightning to the Nations, the White Album Remastered 2021 on Silver Lining Music. Now, they are they're of seminal importance to heavy metal music, and their debut album, Lightning to the Nations, is a key influence in the genre. Silver Lining Music is very proud to present Lightning to the Nations, the White Album Remastered 2021, the ultimate version of this ultimate album, featuring not only the original album from quarter-inch master tapes discovered in the founder Brian Tatler's archives, but also alternative mixes and classic cuts never publicly released or heard before. So there is also brand new cover artwork based on an idea that Brian Tatler had to show as a character referred to as the Lightning God. The original tapes were first quite literally baked. It's a process that allows degraded tape to be returned to playable quality and then restored and digitized before Diamond Head frontman Rasmus Bomb Anderson remastered the tracks and ended up with the pristine condition of the original recordings. So the alternative mixes are pure treasure for fans of both Diamond Head and the new wave of British heavy metal, and they're supplemented by a set of bonus tracks originally recorded in the 1980s. And rounding out this ultimate edition are a set of deep and detailed notes on both the era and each song that, were written by Brian Tatler. Okay, it's a lot for you. Next up, this is Samantha Fish. This one is live. She has a lot of output. It's this is through Cleopatra. Did I tell you that? She's a very talented singer-songwriter, and she performs some of her best loved songs live here. It showcases her very dexterous blues guitar playing, as well as her impressive vocals on these superb editions of Bulletproof, Kill or Be Kind, and lots more. And this is on limited edition pink vinyl that kind of looks like this. The thing with Samantha Fish is she's in that Joe Bonamassa territory of overkill. Sometimes I don't think that's the best idea to have just really quick output all the time. I think, maybe you take a different approach and leave them wanting more, leave them anticipating your next record, just my opinion. But I kind of think sometimes, if you're too accessible, it's a little bit so what. This is Free Throw. Those days are gone. This is on Wax Bodega. After 4 albums and a decade of hard work, including countless performances worldwide, the members of Free Throw have a very fresh perspective on life. The band is through obsessing over what comes next and romanticizing the moments that have already passed. So instead, Free Throw is making music about the present and how seeking balance in our lives is far more meaningful work than the endless pursuit of what you deem to be enough. Those Days Are Gone was the band's debut and still most popular album. So out of press for years, this title is now back in steady rotation. This is on half green and half dark blue vinyl. And does it tell us this anywhere? It tells you on the barcode sticker right there. All right, this is, I think I got a little out of order here. So I'm going to just fix it this way. Daryl Hall and John Oates, Do It For Me. This is You Watch recordings through BMG, originally released in 2003, now first time on vinyl, 2 LP set. It's the 16th studio album by the pop music duo Hall and Oates. It isn't particularly adventurous. It's firmly settled in kind of blue-eyed soul, the tradition that, they've always kind of gone with. Sometimes it blurs the line between that and adult contemporary. However, it shares with those records a strong sense of songcraft and consistently enjoyable songs and performances. And it's true that nothing here will erase your memory of their biggest hits, but all of these 14 songs, they hold their own against many of the album tracks of lesser known hits from their golden period, while also having this kind of unified sense of sound and purpose, adding up to a thoroughly satisfying record. It's kind of will please the faithful by winning back those listeners who really haven't listened to them since the 80s. Anyway, it's a really fine, surprising comeback effort. Okay, now this is Gorgoth, and this is called Pentagram, and this is through Soul Cellar Records. Originally released in 1994. Gorgoth is a Norwegian black metal band that are based in Bergen, Norway, and you know, Norwegian black metal is the definitive, like they set the bar for where black metal should be. So yeah, you know, you always want your Norwegians to be giving you your black metal. Anyway, the band was formed in 1992 by guitarist Infectious, who is the only original member remaining, but the band have since released 9 studio albums. So we all know that Norwegian black metal in the 90s was something extraordinary, and I won't even count how many amazing albums were recorded back then. But this half-hour recording proves a consistently ferocious listen, thanks to memorable riffs and an almost constant percussive bombardment. Very unfussy yet effective production. And the singer Hat, his utterly possessed, almost bird-like screeching, one thing that stands out immediately are his vocals. And it's horrendously abrasive. This man certainly knew how to capture a listener's attention. When I first listened to the album, I couldn't help but laugh at like the sheer ferocity of this and had trouble getting used to it. But, you know, you got to give it a whirl. This is, I think this is on white vinyl, I want to say. Again, this is how it came packaged, so we can have a peek. Oh, maybe it's marbled. Oh, actually, okay. It is white and black and white marble. Wouldn't you call that marbled? Gray, black, and white, I guess. Yeah, I didn't realize that coming into it, so I didn't have a note about it. And sorry, I'm wasting time, I know. All right. Put it back in its little sleeve. That wasted a good few seconds there on that one, but okay, let's get to it. This is now we have Buddy Guy, and this is Stone Crazy on Alligator Records. This artist is at his frantic and frenzied best here, savage guitar and fiery vocals. 140-gram black vinyl is a reissue of this legendary release from the internationally renowned blues icon. Okay, this is John Fulbright, The Liar, Blue Dirt Records. John Fulbright is an American singer-songwriter from Oklahoma. While still in high school, he performed at the Woody Guthrie Folk Festival, and it's been 8 years since he last put out a record. His sophomore effort called Songs was released in 2014, very successful. The Liar proves that he was just getting started. So across a dozen new tracks, Fulbright careens from moments of despair to optimism, and sometimes all in the same song. The record is his most collaborative yet, deviating from mostly just being a loner at the piano churning out songs. And you can hear that collaboration on songs like the title track with guitars, drums, and harmonica that settle in nicely besides his piano. This is a soulful track, also comes with his trademark witty lyrics. Booze makes another appearance in the track, like the track Social Skills, you know, but funny, but just as insightful. Like he says, so I drink this gin and I take these pills just because I don't have social skills. It's just kind of funny, but you know, it's just as often as he is sharply funny, he can also turn in a song that's very lyrically heartbreaking. So he does it all. Here we have Ben Harper, and this is Bloodline Maintenance through Chrysalis. Fearlessly and immensely soulful work, largely inspired by the longtime friend and lingering influence his charismatic father. Along with guitar and bass, he also played the drums, including an eclectic assortment of percussions. So the deliberately open spaces and accented beats, influenced in part by the exploratory rhythms of hip-hop he has loved since his teens. The result is less than direct influence than applying of hip-hop's inventiveness to long-standing influences of soul, blue, and jazz, and spinning it all into this reconfiguration of a new Black Americana. Bloodline Maintenance is both a political and personally revealing work. It's soul music, but never like the stylistic tribute of some bygone era. The sound and the words are essential and undeniably timely. Harper acknowledges that much of the exploration on the record was fueled by an awareness of time. It's this notion of mortality and the people we've lost, and that's been heavy on his noggin. So yeah, it's not on colored vinyl as far as I know. It seems to be on just black. Okay, next up we have Helloween on Nuclear Blast. Helloween's one of the most respectable German metal exports and pioneers of German melodic speed metal. Helloween released 15 studio and 4 live records, achieved and was honored with 14 gold and 6 platinum awards, and sold more than 10 million albums. So, you know, Helloween is the 16th studio album released in 2021, released 6 years after its predecessor, My God-Given Right. So that was the longest gap between 2 albums from the band. The album also the first to feature more than one singer, as their band members Hansen, Kiske, and Andy Darris, all of whom had performed on as sole lead vocalists on previous albums, share the lead vocal duties on this one. So the album reached top 10 positions in several international music charts. It's on limited edition blue and white marbled vinyl. Does that say that? Yes, it tells you that right here. Or you can get it on picture vinyl in a gatefold, and it includes a booklet. So, and that also mentions it to you here that this is a strictly limited picture vinyl in gatefold on 2 LPs. Okay, Helloween, just in time for October. All right, this is Amy McDonald. This is The Life on Universal UK. This is the debut studio album by the Scottish singer-songwriter Amy McDonald, originally released in 2007. And the thing is, it's every bit as good as the albums that followed. I just don't know why she isn't more well known in the US, but apparently they love her in most of Europe, and in Scotland it's like she's elevated to queen status there. It's a great classic rock and roll kind of wonderful voice, lots of variety in the songs. Very good instrumentation and arrangements, but sometimes people have complained that the songs sound a little bit samey on this. So that's kind of been the criticism. It's a limited edition double 10-inch on white vinyl, and it does tell you that it's white vinyl there. Now here's my fear, you guys. I don't like the idea of a full album on a double 10-inch. That was my pick, The House of Love, and now that this has shown up, I'm hoping this doesn't turn into a thing, because it only gives you room for like 3 tracks per side, and I don't know about you, but I don't like having to sit and hover over my turntable while I'm like waiting. This is why I really don't like 7-inch box sets, because you know, you can't ever, you got to just stay there all the time. And I don't know, I'm not real down with the double 10-inch. It's like, if it's a full album's worth of material, just put it on an album, you know. I don't need like trendy kind of things like that. So I'm hoping that that doesn't turn into a thing. All right, this is Melody's Echo Chamber, Unfold. Now this is through Fat Possum. Melody Prochette is the driving force behind this, and this is described as the lost follow-up album to her debut, Emotional Eternal, which was also recorded with her ex-boyfriend Kevin Parker of Tame Impala, and that was in Australia in 2003. So the album was 50% completed, and then the relationship just didn't make it through the process. And then she tried to work on it on her own for a couple of years until she realized that she was just hurting herself doing that. She ended up deleting some of the music from those sessions. 7 songs did survive the process, and they're now released here on their own. Some of them were briefly available online after Prochette uploaded them under the name From Pink They Fell Into Blue in 2016. But anyway, these are the surviving demos from that. All right. Now we have George Michael, Older. You know, you guys, I could swear we've talked about this before, but you know, I don't know. Sometimes it all becomes a blur, but I don't know. Did we have the CD of this or something not long ago? Not sure. Anyway, Older, double vinyl from Legacy Recordings. Older is, George Michael said, Older is my greatest moment. Originally released in 1996, Older spent 3 weeks in the #1 spot in the UK, spawned 6 singles, including Fast Love and Jesus to a Child. The album was a huge global success, going 6 times platinum in the UK, as well as being verified platinum in another 22 countries. So written, arranged, and produced by George, it sees him exploring new genres as he reflected on life, loss, love, and healing. This iconic album is now available here as a 2 LP gatefold on 180-gram vinyl, remastered from the original tapes. Yeah, I don't know why it feels like I'm having a deja vu with that, but all right. Next up, we have Monster Magnet, Monolithic Baby on Napalm Records. This was the 6th studio album by the American rock band Monster Magnet, released in 2004. Monster Magnet's all about bringing back the flame of the psychedelic and spacey 70s and plugging it into the sound of the 90s and playing like a dirty garage rock, hard rock, like Motorhead used to. Direct influences here are Black Sabbath, Motorhead, and Soundgarden. The sound of the guitar and the bass create a kind of space rock, sort of a doom feeling. Also kind of a nod to 70s psychedelia. Anyway, this is top-notch music, far and away from double bass drum stuff. It, in 2 words, is fresh air. And Dave Windorf, who is the guitar player in this, just you can always recognize when it's him. But yeah, we love seeing Monster Magnet, and it's a double, so nice reissue there. Okay, next up, this is Moon Duo live at Levitation. This is through the Reverberation Appreciation Society label. So the first Austin Psych Fest was held in March of 2008 and expanded to a 3-day event the following year. The festival quickly developed into an international destination for psychedelic rock fans, with lineups spanning the fringes of indie rock from up-and-comers to vintage legends. And it capped off with headlining performances from the Black Angels each year. So the Black Angels and Levitation helped spark a movement inspiring the creation of similar events across the globe and a burgeoning psych scene that would soon ignite. So the series captures key moments in psychedelic rock history and live music in Austin, Texas. The artists and the sets showcased on Live at Levitation have been chosen from over a decade of recordings, and the world-renowned event, the documentary, and documents key artists on the scene following performing for a crowd of their peers and fans who gather at Levitation annually from all over the world. Moon Duo, yeah, totally psychedelic little Moon Duo. You can get this on orange and purple vinyl, like a swirl, or the indie exclusive is orange, yellow, and black splatter. Now, these stickers will tell you which one is just the limited edition and which one is the indie exclusive, but the rings, the colors here, they have nothing to do with anything. Like this is the limited edition colored vinyl, and this one is really on, what did we say? Orange and purple. I guess it's got purple there, but you wouldn't know otherwise. And then the indie exclusive is the green swirly thing, and it tells you it's the indie exclusive on the sticker, but it's orange, yellow, and black splatter. It has really nothing to do with green. So kind of weird that they go to all the trouble to make a sticker, but it's not really accurate, whatever. Okay, this is Motorhead Hammered 20th Anniversary through BMG Rights Management UK. This is the 16th studio album by British rock band Motorhead, released on April of 2002. Okay, it was recorded in Hollywood, and Motorhead was now a 3-piece band. Album number 16 from England's finest power trio. It covers all the bases. There is plenty of speed metal intact here, and there are ample traditional metal and aggro hard rock anthems. And plus, if you like Motorhead's blues-oriented angle, it's here for you as well. As such, if you like your metal filled with piercing solos, energetic and punk-like double bass drumming, hummable guitar hooks, vocals, you're sure to remember this includes infectious fist-pumping choruses as well, and not uncommonly humorous lyricism. So you definitely could do a lot worse than this highly enjoyable record right here. Limited edition 20th anniversary yellow and black splatter, and it does tell you that here on the sticker. Yeah. Okay, now next up, we have Napalm Death, Scum. This is on Earache Records. Scum is the debut studio album by English grindcore band Napalm Death. It was released in 1987 through Earache, and the two sides of the record were recorded by two different lineups in sessions separated by about a year. So it's kind of like two different albums. The only musician in both incarnations was drummer Mick Harris. So it's totally... If it's the total intensity you're after, you need to go no further. The production is excellent considering the strain put on it by Mick Harris's 1,000 cymbal RPM approximately. And that's like if there was a contest to who is the fastest band, it's these guys. Come on, the average song on this album is quite short, but with most falling in the range of being 30 seconds to 1 minute. And 30-second song. They blast through these songs at a sonic pace, really giving you, the listener, hardly a chance to breathe before they're on to the next one. There are some breaks in the blasts beats with the band slowing down to a mid-paced grind, but for the most part, you feel like you're just getting repeatedly shanked. That's crazy. But yeah, this is like got to be the fastest band out there. Oh, man. Next is Off, Free LSD. It's on Fat Possum, the long-awaited fourth album from hardcore group Off. It's a heavy punk industrial free jazz-sounding recording. Easily their most ambitious yet, playing on classic punk embellishments to provide 20 hard-hitting tracks that are topical and frantic. Without having to reinvent the punk wheel, Off brings a refreshing take to the genre with this new meticulously put together album. So deluxe glow-in-the-dark gatefold edition with blotter lyric sheet, and it's on deep purple vinyl. So having said that, the glow-in-the-dark gatefold edition, I'm assuming it's the cover that is the glow-in-the-dark because the vinyl is purple, and it says that right here, deep purple colored vinyl. But I'm assuming that this cover is somehow glow-in-the-dark. I don't know. Okay, then we have a new Pixies, Doggerel, on Infectious Music. This is the 8th full-length studio release from the alternative rock band, the Pixies, and it's all in the direction that a band like Pixies would go, even this far down the line. It isn't reassembling the status of the band in 1922. It holds firm on the fact that they're still good. And that they've got plenty of ideas. It sees the band aiming to offer fans something new with their material, but something more conventional and sophisticated and orchestrated. But the facets of their endearing original sound still remain. But as with any band that's inevitably aging, two paths present themselves: evolution or comfortable mediocrity. And thankfully, this doesn't fall into the latter. On limited edition yellow vinyl, and it tells you that on the sticker up here. So everybody's getting with the program. I like it. All right, next we have Psychic Ills, Live at Levitation. This is from that same series. It captures, the key moments and the live music in Austin, Texas. The artists and sets showcased have been chosen over a decade of recordings, the same thing. Okay, so in this Live at Levitation series, it features New York psych legend Psychic Ills, capturing the band's spellbinding performance in 2012. In March of 2020, the music world kind of mourned the loss of Psychic Ills founder and frontman Tress Warren. At the time of his death, he was overflowing with creativity and actively writing new songs, and was excited about the next phase of the band. So anyway, this Reverberation Appreciation Society is honored to share this live recording and forever showcase the powerful psychedelic rock experience that was and always will be Psychic Ills. This is on indie exclusive Green and Yellow Splatter or Pink and Blue Swirl. Again, these have that same thing with those stickers we were talking about. Very little to do with what's going on, but it tells you if it's the limited edition colored vinyl. The limited edition is the Pink and Blue Swirl. The indie exclusive is the one that is on the green and yellow splatter, and it's really good looking vinyl actually. So yeah, they're here. Okay, now this is Shy Girl Nymph, and it's on the Because Music label. Shy Girl is a multidisciplinary artist from the East London club scene, and she finished her first major body of work. Her debut album here is titled Nymph, written and produced by Shy Girl alongside her long-term collaborators Sega Bodega. Isn't that a great name? The 12-track album is very stunningly innovative and diverse collection of songs exploring themes of friendship, community, escapism, love, and loss. And this one, as it says here, is on black or clear blue vinyl. So here would tell you that it's the clear blue edition, and this one tells you that it is the black vinyl edition. So no guesswork in that one either. All right, this is Slipknot The End so far, and it's on Roadrunner Records. It's their 7th studio album. American heavy metal band Slipknot, one of the biggest bands in metal to make their grand return. So here it is, what will go down as the most experimental Slipknot album to date. Where predictably is a word that no one can use to describe it, where many listens aren't just recommended but kind of required to fully appreciate just how unique a lot of this is. It does all the experimentation work? Well, not always, but even those moments are at least interesting. So who knows what the future holds for Slipknot, but right now they continue to prove that their position in heavy metal is more than deserved. Even this long into their careers and with all the blood, sweat, and tears that they have shed, they can still evolve and challenge all perceptions of what people expect of them. This is on clear or limited edition neon yellow vinyl, so that is also here noted for you. It says clear vinyl, and this one will say limited edition neon yellow vinyl there. Okay, now we have the soundtrack. This is Philip Glass doing music for The Hours, music from the motion picture soundtrack. So it's on Nonesuch, on vinyl for the first time to coincide with its 20th anniversary and Philip Glass's 85th birthday and concert season. Originally released in December of 2002, his score for the Academy Award-winning film was itself nominated for an Academy Award, as well as a Golden Globe and a Grammy, and it went on to win a BAFTA and a Classical Brit Award. So The Hours, the film interweaves the stories of 3 women whose stories intertwine and finally come together in a surprising, transcendent moment of shared recognition. So Philip Glass's score was conducted by Nick Ingman with Michael Reisman on piano and the Lyric Quartet, and recorded at Abbey Road Studios and Air Studios London. The score was a key element in the acclaimed triptych of dramatic tales that this movie has going on. The intercutting of personal stories over a wide span of time, said NPR, is held together by a single music approach. So if you're a Philip Glass fan, you know, it's kind of nice that it's finally on vinyl, huh? Okay, this is the soundtrack and original score to Ozark, seasons 1 through 4, and this is on Verve. It's you can't see it real good on camera, but it's got this big O right here on the box set. So it's a hefty little piece. It's commemorating the series and the sound of the Emmy Award-winning Ozark, with the vinyl box set containing original soundtrack for all 4 seasons. So composed by Danny Bensi and Sonder Jurians. It includes 2 collector's posters and 4 LPs that are like each season is on an LP. Okay. All right. Now we have the Vertex. Yeah. This is on the Busy Bee label. Sweden's the Vertex were, along with the Moderns, one of the country's first mod revival bands, small town teens with big time dreams. And it was mod punk pop stompers that these guys made in the early 80s before gradually digging themselves deeper into the psychedelic sounds of the 60s, and then kind of disbanding in 1987. But their legacy and legend has grown ever since, with singles like Tonight, The Sky Will Be Ours, and John. The band regularly appears on compilations, and today their releases are very highly sought after collectibles all around the globe. And for the first time, a retrospective with the Vertex is being presented here, including 4 previously unreleased tracks. Nice. Okay, and this is the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, Cool It Down, on Secretly Canadian. And it could be called kind of a transformative magic that happens during Yeah Yeah Yeahs' most tuned in moments in the studio, when their unique chemistry kind of sparks open a portal and comes a song like Maps or Zero, or the latest addition to their canon, Spitting Off the Edge of the World, featuring Perfume Genius. An epic shot to the heart of pure Yeah Yeah Yeah's beauty and power. A thunderstorm of a return is what the legendary trio has in store for us. So Cool It Down is their 5th studio album and their first since 2013's Mosquito. The 8-track collection, bound to be a landmark of their catalog, is an expert showing of their best gifts that compels you to move and cry and listen closely. So this is on black. Sorry, I just hit my notes and they kind of... Okay, so this is on black, limited edition, opaque yellow vinyl or CD. And it will tell you here that this is the yellow one. Yay. All right, so I'm actually thinking in a couple of days I'm going to do a contest to win that album too. Okay, so stay tuned. This is Wilco, Yankee Hotel Foxtrot from 2022. This is on None Such. Now, this is a remaster of the original album, Yankee Hotel Foxtrot, which is like a beloved Wilco album, and it was widely acclaimed as one of 2002's best albums, appearing in year-end lists of places like Mojo, NME, Q, Rolling Stone, and Uncut, among many others. It was also featured in multiple decade-end lists, with Rolling Stone naming it number 3 album of the 2000s. So, conceptually, they had decided to focus on a big idea for the next album, the state of America. So the lyrics became a form of inquiry. They wanted to write about the stuff right in front of their eyes, microscopically looking at America and asking questions about each little thing, like how can there be all these good things and these things that I love about America alongside of these things that I'm ashamed of. And that was like personally and countrywide, you know, that they were kind of honing in on. So exploring those questions while weaving in strands of Eastern philosophy and bits of autobiography. The lyrics would be loaded with like this pained imagery of someone suffering from migraines and mental issues. And the singer-guitarist Jeff Tweedy would continue a deep examination of both originally he was, again, is a deep examination between country and self. Now, they had kind of on their website in 2021 gone ahead and released some of these tracks. But then when it came time, this disc had originally been scheduled for release for September 11th. And its cover is a Sam Jones shot image of Chicago's Twin Marina Towers, angling in this looming fashion that kind of bore this eerie resemblance to the felled World Trade Center towers. And the songs with titles like Ashes of American Flags and War on War, and lyrics about how tall buildings shake, sad voices escape, that took on this like terrible new resonance. So kind of hard for this to then be released in 2022. People love this record, but it did have that kind of unwanted connotation that it was, you know, kind of about things that it wasn't really about. But anyway, you can get this on black vinyl or the indie exclusive on creamy white vinyl. Then it'll tell you that right there. Okay, so a lot of people have been waiting for this album and are going to be very, very happy that it's been reissued. But what an unusual thing, and what a coincidence in a wrong way to have it like parallel 9/11 so closely like that. So There is much more in this other box, but I'm just going to have that on the list below because we're already hitting the 50-minute mark here and we got to get on with it. Okay, so I hope you all found something that you found interesting. Try out Picks of the Week. They're both bangers. So try that and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys.